Yes, people, welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. We've got something a little bit different tonight, something very close to me, and something very close to, I know, a lot of people that will be watching tonight. Oh, crikey. Hope you are all well watching tonight. I'm joined by Pippa. Firstly, Pippa, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
So somebody that I know very personally, my friend, we went to primary school together, played football, secondary school together as well. His name's Sean, and last month he was diagnosed with a form of bone cancer, and he's not great. And we're here to try and raise awareness tonight about it. And I'm going to try and use my platform to do that. There's a Just Giving link that I'm going to put out in just a second to help you. If you can donate, if you can, brilliant. If you can't, just share it around to people. But I'm going to get onto that in just a second. Sean is very close to me, and I know he'll watch this at some point. So I don't want to. I don't want to say. I don't want to say too much to that extent, but Pippa, his mum joins me. Pippa, just take the viewers through the story of how this all came about, and you know how you are today.
So back in sort of July time, when Sean was still at school, he started experiencing pain in his knee. We just put it down to football injury because he's played football for Bruton United since he was 7, and he's really sporty, really athletic. So it kind of went on for a few weeks through the summer. He kept complaining every day that his knee was hurting him. I said, okay, we'll go and see the GP. So we went and seen the doctor, and she referred us to the musculoskeletal doctor. And we had to wait a few weeks for that appointment. So when we did see him, he had a look. He was pretty certain that Sean had a form of arthritis. So he ordered an X-ray. Sean had the X-ray. It came back clear. There was nothing wrong. So we went back to see Thomas, and he wanted to have some blood tests. Somehow the message got missed by the receptionist. So I chased the blood tests a couple of weeks later, and Sean had them on a Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. By 3 o'clock that afternoon, they were ringing me, telling me that we need to get him to A&E because his inflammation levels were sky high. So we took him to A&E, sat there. They did another X-ray, and they thought that he had fluid on his knee. So they booked him in to see the orthopedic doctor. And my daughter took him to see the orthopedic doctor because I was on a day out with my other children. And she rang me to say that the doctor didn't want to drain the fluid. He wanted an MRI scan. So Sean had the MRI scan done the following day. A week later, he had the MRI done on the Thursday. On the Friday, the receptionist rang me to say the orthopedic doctor wants to see you next week. So we were in the car bumbling along. Sean's birthday was on the Saturday, was coming up on the Saturday. He was going to be 16, and we were talking about what he was going to do for his birthday, and he was really jolly, and we were laughing and joking. Walking into that appointment thinking, right, he's got a bit of arthritis. He's just going to need some physio, maybe some cortisone injections, and, he'll be back playing football in no time. We walked in. We were giggling because Sean left one of his crutches at home, so he was using my shoulder as a crutch. And the doctor was saying, he's the right height. You're the right height for it to be, his shoulder to lean on. And we sat down, and the minute I sat down, I looked at this doctor, and I knew something was coming. There was other people sat in the room, and he just looked at me and said, I'm really sorry, but we found a mass. Sean's got a tumour. And Sean looked at me, and he said, what's he talking about, Mum? And I asked the doctor straight out, I said, is it cancer? And he said, we think it is, yes. And then it was just like a whirlwind. Sean was then taken up to the children's ward. They were putting cannulas in him to have CT scan, which he had, and then we had to go home and wait. And we waited for 10 days. and they had him up in Birmingham Hospital to do a biopsy, because the cancer, because of the tumour that Sean's got, it's bone cancer. It's quite rare. It only affects the long bones, and most doctors won't see this in their lifetime in practice because it is rare. So he's had the biopsy, and on Tuesday we got the results to say that it was grade 4 osteosarcoma. So he's got to go to Bristol to have chemotherapy within the next week, and it's going to be very intensive treatment because the tumour's very aggressive. He's got to have a PET scan, which is a full body scan, to check to see if it's spread anywhere, and also to check that his heart is strong enough to take the chemo. So at the moment, we're going up on Monday to meet the oncologist and talk about what the chemo entails, have a look around the unit that Sean's going to be staying in while he has his chemo, because he's got to be an inpatient, and talk about some really tough decisions, because chemo does all sorts to a body. I mean, I know Sean wouldn't thank me for saying it, but it makes you infertile, so we've got decisions to make, and he's 16 years old, and I don't know how you make a decision like that at this age. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment.
Yeah, it's of course difficult, massively difficult. I would firstly like to thank you so much for coming on, to have the courage and come on and just speak about it, Pippa, because it's touched so many people, and it's of course hurt so many people as well, and we have got to stay positive with Sean at the moment. And one thing I would like to say now is, if you're watching, there's 28 people watching live here, is if you can at all, please, just to help the family in any way you can, please, if you can, donate to the Just Giving link I've just put into the chat. Here it is. That's what you'll see when it comes up onto your screen. If you can, please donate. I know hopefully if I can speak on behalf of Pippa and the whole family, that it will mean the world to them if you can donate, whether it's big or whether it's small. If you can donate, that would be massively appreciated. So the next steps, Pippa, now Sean's got to go up and have his hopefully have his chemo, and then hopefully after that, what comes next, for sure.
So he's got to have, to start with, he's got to have 10 weeks of chemotherapy, and then they want to do surgery, and they're planning on removing his kneecap and the bottom of his thigh bone, and putting in implants, as long as it's not spread. If it's spread, I'm not sure. So
yeah, so all we can do now is just hope that it hasn't spread. Hopefully the chemo and the surgery can do its job properly. And Pippa, I don't really know what to say to you, but I would like to say just keep going for Sean, and if I speak from everybody at school, from everybody that's donated, we're all with you. And he was and of course he is one of the best footballers I've ever played with. He used to batter us all. If I'm being honest, I'm sure there's a few people watching from school tonight. He did used to batter us all. So hopefully he can get back to that one day, and hopefully we can get rid of it. And it's just overall raising awareness, because as you said earlier, it's one of the rarest cancers around, and if we can raise awareness, and hopefully, because we work with DT38 here on West Ham Unofficial, raising awareness, and hopefully cures can come in the future, and families are prevented from going through the horrendous time you're currently going through. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been supportive, that's donated money. I mean, we never expected anything like this. We're just a little family in a little town, and the kindness and the empathy that people are giving us is unbelievable. I don't even know how to say thank you, but that's all I've got. So thank you.
Yeah,
from all of us.
Pippa, thank you very much for coming on and raising awareness. So as I said, the main message we'd like to get out tonight is from me, is just overall raising awareness. If we can get more awareness out there, we can hopefully get more funding and stop these things happening to these families, and stop these horrific times happening for these families. And of course helping Sean as well, if you can donate to get him the best, of everything we can give him at the moment. That would be greatly appreciated, and to support the family in everything that they do in the near future. Pippa, thank you very much for coming on. Thanks to everybody for commenting in the chat, and I would urge you to go over to the Just Giving page and give all you can. Pippa, thank you very much for coming on, and as we said earlier, help out Sean if you can. It's horrible. It really, really is horrible. But hopefully we're going to get him through it. Pippa, thank you very much. Thanks everybody for watching in the chat. That's it from me. And yeah, continue raising awareness and continue donating if you can. Thank you very much. And we'll catch you soon here on West Unofficial. Cheers, guys. And bye-bye.
Bye.